Hey there, I am checking in with you from Florida. We're on spring break and I actually took the time to prepare our first week of March topic because I wanted to keep things going, and this is one of my favorite topics. So I'm hoping you get as much out of it as I do in exploring my own journey. So February we talked about hearing our inner voice and what does that look like, how do we outsource, how do we lean more into that. March is continuing to trust ourselves, but it's more about boundaries. And I want to explore this idea of why do women struggle with setting boundaries? And it's not because we're weak. It's not because I think there's a lot of conversations around people pleasing. It's really truly about we're kind people, responsible, and we don't want to hurt people's feelings. And I do also think it comes down to we don't like how it makes us feel uncomfortable if someone else is uncomfortable. And so we want to protect other people from that. We don't want to disappoint people, and we want things to run smoothly. But a lot of times we're saying yes when we mean no. We're saying yes when we mean maybe. We're trying to explain ourselves endlessly. We're trying to take in or worry about everybody else's feelings but ourselves. And it's exhausting. It's super, super exhausting. And what ends up being there is a lot of resentment and anger a lot of times. A lot of exhaustion. We're overtaxed, we're irritated or drained. We're quietly frustrated. And we're trying to make sure that nobody else is upset but ourselves. But we also end up abandoning ourselves in that process, which is really hard. So setting boundaries at first can feel uncomfortable. And I think what we have to learn to live in is being uncomfortable if we want to grow. Truly, growth means stepping outside of where we're at if we want to become who we're meant to be, which I think we all do. We want to be more than maybe what we feel life has given us so far. So boundaries are going to feel uncomfortable, but that doesn't mean that that's wrong. A lot of times they're about breaking patterns. They're breaking patterns with ourselves. It's breaking patterns with other people. And so at first, people might be surprised that you're saying no or setting boundaries. You might get some surprise looks. You might get more questions. You might get the feeling that people are not used to you not trying to fix their feelings. But it just means that you're doing something new. It doesn't mean that it's the wrong choice or the wrong path. A lot of times boundaries are misunderstood. I think people feel like when they set boundaries, they're being cold or selfish or pushing people away. And that's not the case at all. If anything, it brings clarity into ourselves, into that we are putting ourselves first and that we are prioritizing what's important. So it can be things as easy as, I'm not available tonight. That doesn't work for me right now. I'm not available for the conversation. And keeping it just really simple. You don't have to over-explain. There's no drama, no hostility. It's just clarity on your end around this is a no right now. And I think as you do that, more people will respect it. And if they're pushing back, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't lean in and listen, but it also doesn't mean that it should be a yes for you either. So this week, I want you to take notice to when you're saying yes to things, where are you feeling resistance? Where are you feeling like maybe I don't want to say yes? Where am I over-explaining myself? Where do I feel resentment after saying yes or committing or doing something that maybe I didn't want to do? Where do you feel pressure to keep everyone comfortable? Where is that coming up in life? And then ask yourself this one question. What would it look like to be honest? What would it look like to take a different path that has more clarity for you and it's different than you've done before? It doesn't mean you have to act on it this week, but I just want you to start noticing and leaning into it. So boundaries are not becoming a different person. If anything, they're honoring the person that you are and are meant to be. They're about connecting to yourself so that you can better care for others. And it's about working on yourself. And again, it's going to be uncomfortable through this path, but it's going to become more clearer through this time. And so ask yourself this last question. What boundaries do you feel hardest to you right now to hold? Is it work? Is it family? Is it friends? And just lean into it. I'm not asking you to take any action right now. I just want you to start assessing what's going on around you. We'll talk more about it this month. So would love to hear from you, where you're applying, what you're thinking, and how I can help you support you in this. But I think this topic is a huge one for women, and I'm excited to explore it more with you this month. So happy Wednesday. I couldn't even remember what day it was. I hope you're having a great week. We are definitely living in the sunshine. You can see all my color just eating it up. And hope you're enjoying the weather wherever you're at.